Hey guys, in this video I would like to talk to you about one of my favorite concepts, which is the Parkinson's principle. Now, the Parkinson's principle basically states that the perceived difficulty and the importance of any task increases proportionally to the time allocated for the completion of that task. So in other words, if I give you, let's say, 6 or 12 months to complete a certain task, your brain will think, well, if I have so much time, it must be important and it must be difficult, almost overwhelming. On the other hand, if I give you a certain task and I tell you you have to complete it within a couple of hours or a couple of days, your brain basically thinks, well, if I have just a couple of hours, it can't be so important, it can't be so difficult. And thanks to that, it's much easier for you to get right into it without procrastinating. So to give you an example, let's imagine that I told you that you have to prepare a 25-page report and you have 6 months to complete it. And what's going to happen? You'll probably procrastinate for the first few months, and then at some point you'll start getting those thoughts that, you know what, you should be actually doing something, you're actually wasting your time. Eventually you may start doing some research, start preparing some sort of foundation for that report, but you feel increasing anxiety because you will feel like you're not really getting anything done. And then eventually, right before the deadline, you may realize that, you know what, if I don't do anything right now, I'm gonna miss my deadline. That's when you get down to business. That's when you start focusing on what's really important. But really think about it. You'll get some result, but the amount of anxiety associated to that process is just ridiculous. On the other hand, if I tell you that you have to write that report and you have only 4 days to complete it, what you gonna do? Well, you will say to yourself, I actually don't have too much time. I need to get right into it. You will not even have time to procrastinate. You know that you simply can't, okay? There is no other option. You have to get down into it and start doing it straight away. And you will not even have time to worry about what if. You will simply focus on the most important elements, on the most important steps you have to take without basically wasting your time on counterproductive minutiae that will not bring you any results. So I believe that Parkinson's principle is really powerful, and you should use it to your advantage to become more productive. So whenever you set deadlines for yourself, instead of giving yourself those massive deadlines, just don't do that, okay? Don't play the average people's game. Play the game of big people, people who think big, masters, really successful people, and give yourself really short deadlines so you propel yourself to focus on what's really important instead of focusing on all the minutiae, all the stuff that doesn't matter, all the counterproductive activities. Because when you give yourself a really short deadline and you make a conscious decision that you'll make it happen, that you'll focus on what's really important, that's when the magic happens. Because suddenly you don't have time to worry. The only thing you are doing is you are focusing on what's really important, and you end up getting things done.